hello. How are all of you today? Anyways, cool. Let me get my tablet all set up. I did see a comment already. Am I still sorting my collection? Yes, but once again, not this week. Sorry about that. Sorry. This is it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. But here's the tentative game plan. Tentative is always tentative because until they actually happen. Also, my heater is on. Do I care? I'll leave it on. Anyways, tentative game plan is as follows. As of right now, next week I will not be doing a live stream on Thursday because next week is Level Up Retreat. So that's going to be as far as that goes. Which means we are hoping is the key word over here, hoping to do, why can't I see my lives over here? Go to mute your channel. Hoping to do a live stream on, let me make sure I'm muted, perfect, great. Hoping to do a live stream on Tuesday if things go well, not a guarantee, but hoping to do. And that live stream still might not be sorting the collection. It might be a gameplay. Meg and I might do a live gameplay of the new Cthulhu, possibly. Like the season 5, whatever it is. So we might do that. That's a up in the air possibility. If not, if we don't do that, we'll probably do the sorting the collection, but there will not be a live stream on Thursday because I will be driving to Level Up on Thursday. So, as far as why there's no live today, that's a combination of just things to be done, and also, frankly, it's cold outside, and Meg and I filmed like 8 videos yesterday, I think 5 videos yesterday, but coming over every single day is a lot of work. Well, not a lot of work, it's a lot of cold. Anyways, let's go ahead and check out our chat over here. Let's pop this out and get caught up to you. Why can't I pop it out? I don't know why necessarily, but it's fine, it's all good. We're on live chat, perfect, good. Hello, Mikhail, Stacy, Robbie, Smooth, Brian. It's cold in Philly, wish it were snowy. It is cold and snowy over here. I wish it were neither. Stacy, I'm dancing to the music right now. Anyone want to join me? I came in after the music was over, so no. Hello everyone, hello other Joe. Is Alex sorting his BG collection? Just cover that. Good questions, Clash with Doom. It is 1 week to level up, so he may have other priorities. Well, that's, first of all, honestly, I need to take a look at my calendar already. Because I usually before conventions or trips, I try to make sure I have all my videos prepared. Like a week out, I'm like looking at, do I have, like I'm going to be gone Thursday through Sunday. Do I have Thursday through Sunday completely prepared? Ideally Thursday through Monday, just in case. And the answer to that right now is I don't know. I have to go take a look. So I don't know yet. But I will be getting my videos prepped. But there definitely are a lot of things that, LOL, Meg can't stream, she's cold. No, Meg, well, more context to it. There's stuff to do in general, but yes, it's also cold. It is freezing outside right now, and coming over every single day is definitely a lot, plus combined with getting other things done. But yeah, yesterday we knocked out like 5 videos. In fact, the 2 videos that you see go up today, there's a Finspan review and a Finspan gameplay going up at 4. Both of those were filmed yesterday, amongst several other videos. But yeah, as far as Level Up goes, I definitely do need to get a lot of things done before Level Up. There's a whole bunch of stuff to be played. I still want to finish Iridia. I want to try to get Iridia, not necessarily finish, but I want to get like another maybe 5-10 hours in and then do a review. And I'm hoping to do the review before Level Up. So that gives 7 days for us to do that. Not a lot of time. Tentative TM, exactly. Level Up Retreat, woohoo, thanks in advance, can't wait for Level Up. How do you find Escape from New York? I haven't played it. Asaf, good afternoon, Alex. Can you share a bit, what did you think of Hearts of Iron? Ooh, sure, Hearts of Iron. Hearts of Iron, which is launching right now, like as we speak. I think it launched like 11 minutes ago. Now let's actually see how it's doing right now. Although I will say, one of the things I've noticed about GameFound in general is I've noticed that Kickstarter can have those like, you know, oh my gosh, we did 200K in the first 2 minutes, whatever it is. GameFound doesn't have that, like ever. Like, the day ones will be somewhat similar, but the speed of, like, going from 0 to, like, 300K in 4 minutes, that doesn't happen, and I don't know if that's a checkout process. I don't know if it's just the way the numbers are shown. I've never really given it a lot of thought, because it doesn't really matter. Once you get to 24 hours, it's usually par, but for the first day, right now it looks like it's 183 backers with $32,000 raised currently, 32,000 pounds raised. But as far as, I'll check again at the end of the stream. There were like 30,000 people following it, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be big. But big is relative. Big could be 1 million, big could be 5 million. I don't think it'll be 5 million. If I had to guess, I'm going to say Hearts of Iron currently trending towards 1.8 million. It's a random guess. I don't have enough information. I need to actually look at the pledge levels to give you more information, which I haven't done. As far as my thoughts on Hearts of Iron. So first of all, the biggest thing, and I did a full review for those who want to see it, but the first thing I'll say is I'm not at all into the theme, and that does matter. When I'm looking at games that will hit the table, the theme absolutely matters. I think Hearts of Iron is a game that I thoroughly enjoy and would happily play, but I don't think it's a game that I'm personally going to prioritize over other games because I'd rather play Rurik or Cyclades or Inish thematically wise over Hearts of Iron. If you step back from the theme, like if you rethemed it to a modern war theme, if you got rid of that, I would be far more interested in it, but they're currently going with a video game adaptation, so I don't see that happening. But ultimately, I thought the gameplay was very well done. I thought the gameplay it's 6 rounds, which first of all, I like it when a game gives you a limited number of rounds, as opposed to simply exterminate the last person standing. Well, to be more specific, I actually like player determined endgame, but through other means. Limited rounds is just better than full-out extermination in those kinds of games. Although, I do think goal endgame I do prefer. But ultimately, you are trying to build up your engine each round. It kind of has elements of Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, a board game, elements of Risk, but not really Risk, but the core structure is a Risk-adjacent game, but far more gamified. And overall, I enjoyed it. Definitely things that held it back for me. The biggest thing is going to be the theme, some complaints around balance, which I know they're working on, because they have this concept of major and minor nations, which are when a nation is controlled by a player, and you might have as a goal to take over Soviet countries. But if the Soviet countries are a minor player, meaning it's not controlled by another player, that's pretty easy. If it's controlled by another player, you can't. Or not you can't, it's just much more work because they're trying to defend themselves. So they're working on that balance, but overall I definitely enjoyed it. I give it a 4 out of 5. I lost the chat over here. Where am I? I scrolled all the way down. Where am I? Asaf, where's Asaf? There you go. Oh yeah, PressMed. LOL, Mag can't stream. Covered that already. Nick, can you open a random board game box and show how you have organized it? Is that the new game? So first of all, you've seen the worst of the worst. The worst of the worst was Marvel Zombies last week. Nothing was even in bags. Usually my miniatures are just in bags. That's what it usually is. But if my kids have just played with it and I haven't yet taken the time to reorganize it, sometimes it's just chaos. So that last week's or 2 weeks ago's Marvel Zombies is easily going to be the worst example we have. But do I have a bad example? I don't know. It's not all chaos. It's just chaos adjacent. Yeah, that's going to be the worst one. I'm not gonna bother. The worst one is the one you've already seen. After that, it just gets bad. Ace Everdell, Professor Meg, get warm. Hello, Meg. Hello, Asaf. Hello, are you attending level up? Asaf, I cannot imagine there's attending level up. Although, Asaf, if you do, I will make sure you have a comped badge, and I can probably get you a room too. Alex, good question. Alex is talking to me. I'm not Alex. So Alex is talking to me. Quick question. What is your best recommendation if me and my wife want to play a board game similar to Divinity Original Sin, the board game? So the first question is, are you asking because you already played Divinity Original Sin? Is that the reason? Outside of that, I would say Agamonia is definitely going to have elements of similarity. I personally prefer Agamonia, but both were fun. Stacy, shout out to Level Up VGM on BGG. Check it out. List some games, buy some games. Oh, is there a marketplace being done? I was not aware of that, but awesome. Asaf, unfortunately, I'm not. Would have loved being there. Have to stay in Switzerland and work. Life is hard. Alpha Gator, how's Iridia going? I'm about 20 hours in over 3 days, and I felt like taking a break despite thoroughly enjoying it. Iridia's going well. It's always tricky. Again, it's just life and work and time. All these things get in the way. But Iridia is going well. I want to get, I said earlier in the stream already, I want to get another 5, maybe 10 hours in and then review it. Still enjoying it, but kind of took a break for a bit. We were powering through for a bit and then took a 2-week break, which has not done well for covering it more. Joey, hello. Swebme, message retracted. I hate you. Stacy, I see those numbers as the percentage of people who have FOMO. What numbers? I don't know those numbers. Oh, 30,000 people are the people who have FOMO? I mean, sure, but how many of them are going to back is always the question. Stacy, Carmen, Press Meg, Alex, Joel, Agamonia, or Sleeping Gods? Exactly, you're ahead of me. Surabmi, level up. Hello, Joey. Surabmi, level up is only a week away. Ah! David, how do you combine board games with toddler kids? It's been a bit of a struggle for me to both find the time and space as my kids tend to pick up all the pieces and move them around. Yeah. So, for example, my morning was already cleaning up the games that my kids played with yesterday, because that happens. I set up Dragon Eclipse, which unboxing coming for that soon, but I set up Dragon Eclipse for my son to play yesterday, and then had to go ahead and just tidy that up, because he just wanted to play with the dragons, which makes sense, because he's 5. But in general, my kids do, when you say I guess I'm not entirely sure what they're doing. Are they messing around the games on your shelves? Like, are they going to your shelves, pulling games off the shelves and messing it up? Because my kids are well trained. They generally know not to just take games off the shelf and play with them. The exception is my 5-year-old sometimes does with games he already knows that he has been allowed to play. So he might take a game off that he has played in the past and play with that. But they don't take new games off the shelves and just do that. That would be chaos and craziness. And listen, I'm not above beating my kids. If you need it, you got to do what you got to do. This is the part where I get clipped on YouTube. No, don't beat your kids. But I do think that the way kids grow up matters. I trust my kids with my collection inherently. They know the rules. They've been brought up with those rules. Bring another kid in here and all they see is a shelves full of games that they can pull off and do what they want with because they play with their friends copying Monopoly. So how the kids are raised definitely is a factor. My kids are raised around it. They've learned that these are daddy's toys, but they can also play with them with permission. Like they have full access to everything, just you have to ask so I know what's going on. Clash with Doom. I would love to see how he has organized Madara. I heard the Inside is quite bad for that game. I haven't played it enough for that to be an issue. Alpha Gator, any plans to play Frostpunk? Yes, I played Frostpunk. Were you not on previous streams? I played Frostpunk briefly. I got a learning game of Frostpunk, which is to say I played, I don't know, 50% of a game. So I basically know how to play Frostpunk. I still need to clean up a few rules and dive back in. But yes, there are plans to play Frostpunk. Jacob, I know Black Plague and Marvel Zombies are your favorite, but do you think Zombicide 2nd Edition would be a good one for my first-time Zombicide players? I just love the modern look of that one. I don't like Zombicide 2nd Edition because I find it too easy. And if you like the theme, it might be worth trying out. And I'm also someone who plays enough Zombicide that I don't think everyone will find it easy. I like it when Zombicides are punishing, but I'm glad that they have different levels of Zombicide for different players. Brian, is that an avocado? Why, yes. Yes, it is. Suremi, driving home from a medical appointment, will be able to participate in chat in 20 minutes. Don't type anything interesting until then. I can solve this problem. I will be back in 20 minutes, and we'll see you then. The inherent question was always going to be, how long is too long? Like, how long would be funny? How long is pushing it? Like, 20 minutes feels like too long for that bit. But, like, a good 30 seconds wasn't bad. Brian, keep trolling. Strab super interesting comment. I like the Marvel United Resident Evil box in the background. Some of my favorites as well. Are you going to do an ARCS review? No plans to do one anytime soon. I'm not averse to it. It's not on my personal priority list to play. Shout out to Level Up Library plus Play Wish List. Clash with Doom. What is happening with that Level Up thing? I mean, Level Up is a retreat that is taking place January 31st to February 2nd in New Jersey that I am hosting. You can check it out. Just Google Level Up Retreat and buy a ticket. We'll see you soon. Stacy and Everdon, numbers and FOMO, as in percentage back in 2 minutes or 24 hours, whatever. Yes. Did you get all 5 fatigues in your Dragon Eclipse? I got only 3. I don't even know. I don't know. Board Collect. Asaf, Alex vs. Mag, what is the biggest, heaviest game you're waiting for in 2025? What is the biggest, heaviest game that I'm waiting for in 2025? I got no clue. Biggest, I mean, maybe Deceased. I'm trying to remember, like, what the biggest is. Like, Marvel United was pretty big. But, like, heaviest, I assume you mean heaviest weight, like, weight class, not literal weight. I don't know. Like, there's a bunch, but I just don't know offhand. Like, I'm not always aware of what's on my radar at any given point. Brian T, I was incredibly cute by Dragon Eclipse reboxing. I desperately wanted a video to show me what to do and where to stick things. You and me both. Board Collect. Brian T, the step-by-step do this first does a great job. Just3713, favorite games you play with your kids? Ooh, always going to be a variable answer depending on what I've been playing recently at any given point. I would say that we've definitely been enjoying a lot of Steal the Bacon recently. That's been like our go-to like dexterity game. I've been going through Avatar, The Last Airbender deck building game. I've been enjoying that one, but no, let's go with favorites, not recents. Trio is a consistent favorite. I love playing through Trio with them. I love Leo the Lion. I like Baron Park a lot. What else do they really enjoy that we all enjoy consistently? I have to go through more. There's like a lot of good ones, but I think Trio is definitely one of the more consistent favorites right now. Evidel, Stacy, love Frostpunk. I need to jump back in. Actually, I believe you learned to play it or played it for the first time, I think, at Level Up last year? 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Not last year, the one before it. Gary, PressMed, Boston 27F, Cleveland 25F. I assume we're talking about temperatures. It is cold outside. It was colder yesterday. My thermostat, so this is the problem with buying a slightly older house. Like, I've talked about this before, but this house was a good deal for a variety of reasons. Part of it is that it's a slightly older house. But when the temperature outside is 6 degrees, the temperature inside was 63 yesterday. Not because I had it set to 63, but because my furnace couldn't keep up with the outside temperature, which is not great for me. But hey, you know, life is cold and hard. Brian, I thought it was so, but also I also thought it was so, but also sleeve cards do not all fit. Stacey Everdell, anything interesting? Sorry, Mag. Chair stream for the win. Exactly. All right, chair streamers. Board collect. Sleeves are a problem. Usually, Air doesn't get our sleeves and get our storage. Yeah, they do have a sleeve box. Morganite, like Zombicide Second Edition, only have travel version of the core box. Boo, need more chair stream. Yeah, again, the question was how long is the bit funny. I figured I'll give it 45 seconds, that tops. I might have even been 30. Just sitting off screen doing nothing is hard. Professor Meg, it'd be funny if chat wasn't delayed. You probably walked out once she got home. Oh, that's funny. That's true. Brian, shout out to Jenna. I keep seeing people on Facebook referencing our Castle Burgundy reboxing guide, which is great long-term content. Yeah, long-term content is a big deal on YouTube, and it's always challenging, but like, you go to channels that there are many channels that don't always seem like they get a lot of views in their videos, but then you look at their most watched videos, it's like 267,000 views on this how to play a game video. So like long-term content, long-term content is a good investment in every channel. There are many playthroughs on the channel that I've done that have gotten like 30, 40,000 views, and like when I did them, they got 5,000 views, but they're good quality games that continue to be in the conversation, and over time they trend well, and that's good. It's good to always invest in that because you don't want to have to put up videos well, I do want to put up videos every single day, but that's a different problem. But if you don't want to put up videos every single day, then having good recurring revenue is a good thing. Alpha Gator, the Frostpunk Frostlander expansion contains some component upgrades, good to know. Are the glasses new? Good catch, the glasses are new. I just got these yesterday. I got 2 new pairs actually. I am probably getting several more, but I'm kind of waiting for them to settle a bit first. Like, I still have, it's been 8 years since I changed my prescription, which is not great. And I don't mean it didn't change, I mean I didn't check it in 8 years, which, whatever. But I finally got a new prescription, and these are, like, I still have, everything feels a drop wrong. And I don't remember how long it takes for my glasses to adjust completely. I've been wearing them for roughly 24 hours by now, and everything feels a drop off. Everything feels like I need to, like, refocus as I switch where I'm looking. And I don't know, it's been so long since I did this that I'm going to give it, like, another 24 hours and then call the doctor and say, like, hey, is this normal, or did you mess up your... Like, I hadn't gotten my prescription done in so long that apparently there's a new way they do it. Because it used to be, I'd go to the eye doctor, and then they would say, clearer or less clear. Clearer or less clear. You'd answer questions, and it'd keep going clear, like A or B, B, A or B, B. Like, you keep trying to define what's better. And they'd do that like 15 times, and they'd be like, here's your prescription. And the doctor this time is like, hey, it's been a while since you're here, so we have a new way of doing it. It's less questions. And I'm like, cool, sounds good. And he's like, A or B? I'm like, A. He's like, A or B? I'm like, B. He's like, okay, good, here's your prescription. And I'm like, that was not enough questions. That was not enough A/B testing at all for you to understand my prescription. And I understand technology and all those things, like they have stuff that looks at your eyes and figures things out. I don't believe in any of that stuff. It's all a scam. I'm joking for those watching. I believe in technology and the medical advances and all that. But it does mean that when my prescription is a bit fuzzy after 24 hours, I'm like, it's still not perfectly on point. I'm like, maybe I should trust the number of questions that you need. I don't know. Why are we retracting all the messages? Stop it. Stop it, all of you. Anyways, Ricardo, any theories on what the Marvel Invasions game announced by me, Simon, could be? No theories, I just know, which also means that I am going to proceed to ignore any questions from you as far as, well, from anyone, as far as what it is. But, like, I do know some of the things that Simon has coming up and is or doing, and I may have play tested some of their games. So like I have knowledge, but knowledge that I can't convey. So when you ask the next question, I'm gonna say exactly. No matter what you say, I'm just gonna say exactly. Again, I wish I could be more like, I don't know, here's my theory. One of my favorite moments in 5 years of doing content is the video, it's a week in review video, where I announce Simon's upcoming game, and mid-video I'm like, they're doing Marvel Zombies. I didn't say zombies, I said Marvel Zombicide. I said, they're doing Marvel Zombicide. Like, oh my gosh, this is Marvel Zombicide. Oh, this is happening. And like, I figured it out mid-video. Like, I kind of just realized. And I was able to do that because I wasn't in the know. So this, one of my favorite moments was something that I was just like theorizing. And then people in the comments were like torn between, that would be amazing, versus that's never going to happen. Fast forward 2 or 3 months, and it happened, and it was incredibly exciting. And it was nice being able to talk to Simon later, because they were like, yeah, we all watched that video, and everyone in the office was cracking up. And I was like, that's fun. But now I just know things, which is boring sometimes. It's exciting in some ways, boring in other ways. JB, at what point is expansions too much lift and effort? I'm looking at you, the third campaign of Cthulhu May Die. I don't have a perfect answer. What I do know is with Cthulhu May Die, I haven't yet combined seasons 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Right now, they're 2 separate Calyx Cubbies. So I have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I haven't mixed and matched. Will I ever do so? Probably in some way, but I don't feel the need to right now. Right now, I'm happy for the new episodes. I'm happy for the new investigators. If I feel, I guess I would try, when I go back to season 1 and 2, I'd probably want to pull in those the extra monster stuff. But past that, I do find that sometimes you can get too much stuff that it becomes harder to table. So I do want to be mindful of that. It's a good question. Danny Gable, the fan of my furnace, is earning its keep this month. Exactly. Alpha Gator, as a review for Robinson Crusoe on the horizon. Eventually, I want to play it, but I want to do a lot of things in life, and I have to pick and choose every single day of every single week. So, eventually. Trust Meg, message retracted. Hate you. Stacy, 63 is warm as I'd want my house to be. Usually I like it around 61 to 62. Stacy, that is crazy. That is crazy. 63 is freezing. Like, not outside temperature freezing, but inside temperature is freezing. Board Collect. Brian T, I just thought about my thoughts on sleeves for DE, the side box thing that came, Dragon Clips with, came, okay, cool. PressMed, Asaf first, that's tough. I'm honestly not too sure. Right now I have a bunch of oldies that are still on the table. Yes, very much so. Danny Gable, I love new glasses day. I like it once the fuzziness wears off. Ricardo, would you personally recommend Leia's Cthulhu May Die crowdfunding for a newcomer for the game? It's still at late pledge, and I'm on the edge of the blade for pledging or not. Is this your first time play? So it's hard to answer, because I love Cthulhu May Die, but you're not asking whether you should get Cthulhu May Die, you're asking if you should get the new one. My instinct is that Season 1 and 2 is still the best starting point for the game. I think Season 3 and 4 is great. It adds more content. 5, I honestly haven't looked into enough. Like, I didn't even do a should you back it video for 5, and that was just a timing issue. I had too much travel going on when that campaign was going on, so I wasn't able to do a should you back it, but it also means I never looked into it to the extent that I normally would want to, which is a shame, because I totally would cover it otherwise. I just didn't at that point. Did I even do a 2-back or not to back on it? Did I just not cover Death May Die? Like, is that possible? It's possible. Wow. If that's the case, that's insane. Like, it's one of my favorite games. It's a Simon campaign. I usually cover those a ton. I may just not have covered that much. Stacey, 8 years, you should go every year, Alex. That's what they want you to believe, okay? They want you. Big Pharma wants your money every year. They told me to go every year, and I was like, I'll see you in 8 years. Let's talk then. Also, I get splitting headaches all the time. Asaf, Meg, please share. I absolutely love tabling older games. I have my collection. I still feel bad for our Tricarian session. Would love to give it another go together. Tricarian's great. Early on has been a old favorite that I want to table more. I got that tabled recently, and I want to table it more. Ryan, how can you feel bad about Tricarian? It's a great game. I believe, if I recall correctly, this is a while ago, if I recall correctly, it was one of those teaches, which is normal for a teach, but it's one of those teaches where it's like, here's all the rules, and then as you're playing, you're like, oh, and here's these other rules you, as a new player to the game, didn't really realize yet. Which means, as an experienced player to the game, you feel bad that the new player is halfway through a heavy game and learning something new for the first time. It's just part of the process of learning a game, but as the person who teaches games, I sometimes feel bad about that. It is case by case. I don't always feel bad. Sometimes I'm like, hey, I learned the game, I taught the game, suck it up, buttercup, or learn the game yourself, it's fine. Other times I feel bad, and it's case by case and person by person. Jacob, have you seen Know Much About Scales of Fate from IV yet? Sounds interesting. I do know that Austin Harris from IV Games, IV Studio, will be at Level Up Retreat with Scales of Fate, and he will be teaching people. So, if you want to play Scales of Fate at Level Up Retreat, go buy your ticket now. Professor Meg, right now I really want to try Earthbound Rangers, A Guest of Robin Hood, and Black Forest, but at least 2 of those should be played at Level Up. Yeah, Guest of Robin Hood's not going to be Level Up. I don't think so, at least. Stacy, I go to the eye doctor every year, and there's still a lot of questions. Drone Explorer, do you play solo? Do you enjoy playing solo? If yes, top 3 solo with solo mode games. I do play solo. I do enjoy playing solo. I do find that it's not my favorite way to play games, usually. I just find that, I guess the way I put it, and this has always held true, there's times where I'm happy to sit down with a game of Spirit Island and just sit there and puzzle things out for the next 3 hours. But I do find that playing a game with another player just adds an extra social element. So sometimes when you remove that social element, the game feels not as good. Like that's always a balance, and I enjoy solo. Again, I play a lot of solo. Like when I say a lot though, like maybe 10% of my plays are solo. But it's still a lot. But I do find that once I'm playing a solo game, there's like a 50-50 chance I'll just play Hearthstone or some computer game at that point if I'm just doing that. Unless, of course, it's for work and coverage and it's a different umbrella. But I enjoy solo. I don't love solo. It is case by case when I'm in the mood for it. More often than not, the times I play the longer solo games as opposed to shorter solo games is usually if like something happened and just game night hasn't happened that week for whatever reason. Just game night happens multiple times a week. But sometimes people are gone, people are traveling, things are happening, and I realize, hey, we haven't had a real game night this week. Boom. Thursday night, it's just me sitting down playing Spirit Island for 3 hours, and I'm going to enjoy it. Because I do want tabletop experiences in my life in general. As far as top 3 solo games, I mean, I'd have to look at my top 100 and pull from there, and it's also complicated. Like Primal, I love Primal, and I love playing Primal solo, but I do play it more 2-player. So like, is that a solo game? I don't fully know the answer there. So when I think of my solo games, I think of the games that I exclusively play solo, not games that I enjoy playing solo. But that's not always true, which makes these questions hard to answer. So I'll try to divide up into 3 categories. Do not hold me to these answers. These are off the cuff. Any answers I give in a live stream are off the cuff. So, top 3 games that I enjoy playing solo that I also play multiplayer. I'm going to say Primal, Too Many Bones, and I'm trying to think through my top 100. Primal, Too Many Bones. I'm trying to think, what's my top 10 that I really like solo? I'm just going to say Unsettled for now, but I feel there's something higher than that. Okay, so Primal, Unsettled, Too Many Bones are games that are playable multiplayer, and I do play multiplayer, but I like them a lot solo. And if you're like, what about Cthulhu? I honestly don't think I've ever played Cthulhu solo. I may have done it like once just for the sake. I may have done it once, but it's not a game I play solo. I enjoy that with other players. As far as games that I think of as solo-only games, the top ones in that category are going to be For Northwood. For Northwood for sure, I think is almost certainly number 1. I love that game. Really enjoy tabling it every time. Truly satisfying experience. Outside of that, I also could have said Spirit Island. Actually, put Spirit Island above Unsettled, I think. Maybe. I'm not sure which one's higher in my top 100, but when I'm thinking of solo, I'm going to say Spirit Island. Again, but I play it both player counts. So for me, games that are true solo, I don't know. Like, how many true solo games do I have in my top 100? I don't think I have a ton. I'm very intrigued. Like, I know Under Falling Skies is great, but I think it finally dropped out of my top 100. True solo games in my top 100. I don't know how many I have. I don't think I do a ton of true solo. I'm usually more solo friendly. Anyways, that's kind of half an answer for you. 2/3 of an answer. David Pian, a CMO of GameFound, I feel I need to warn you, I'm being made redundant in my job. This will seriously put a dent in the overall GameFound pledge income. David, I appreciate the humorous way you put that. I'm also sorry to hear that because it sounds like you said it in a funny way, but I don't think it was funny news. It sounded like you're saying you are losing your job. And you said it in a way that says, hey, I'm going to spend less money on games, and I thought you should know that as CMO of GameFound. So, again, props for the funny way you deliver the message. I'm sorry for the not funny part that sounds like. Like, you ever watch Robin Hood Men in Tights? And he's, like, trying to deliver news. He's like, why don't you deliver the bad news in a good way? And he's like, Robin Hood. Robin Hood. He's coming to kill you. And he's like, that's not funny at all. He's like, I know. But, so seriously, sorry to hear. And don't buy games that you don't need in the meantime. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Steph, are you on a card in viticulture? My partner swears one of the cards is based on you. Steph, I've seen this clip. Jenna from the Board Game Garden one time did a live stream, and there is a card from, I believe, the Tuscany expansion, if I'm not mistaken, that straight up looks like me. 100% looks like me. But that card came out before I was ever a person in the board game space. So, meaning I wasn't doing YouTube at the time when the card came out. So if it's supposed to be me, I'd be shocked. So I think it's just a coincidence. But I've seen the card and you're not wrong. Jeremy Mullen, 6 degrees, too cold for my Phoenician blood, 60 degrees here in the Valley of Sun. Mega's pretty awesome, going to research those. Pariah, not a guest of Robin Hood, but you're the one bringing Earthborn Rangers, right? Join Explorer, question 3. Most important things to be... Question. 3 most important things for a great board game beside gameplay itself. Art and production. Inherently, like, art and production is so huge as far as above the board game itself. The teachability, accessibility, teachability, whatever you want to call it, that is huge outside of the board game itself. Some people might say story and lore. I don't know if I care about that at all. And theme, I guess. So theme, rules, and art and production are going to be the 3 things that are incredibly important for a board game outside of the gameplay. Professor, first of them, Earthborn Rangers seems the most worth it. I have the highest expectation of. Drone Explorer, question. Do you bling your games? If so, yes, what's more important? Mats, components, sleeves. It is case by case. For games that have a lot of hand holding, sleeves are my most important. I hate playing with like a deck builder that it hasn't been sleeved. Sleeves have to happen. For games that don't have a lot of touching the cards, then probably components, and mats for me is my personal least favorite from those three. Ricardo, thank you for the anecdotes and the answers. Cool show. Thank you, Ricardo. Asaf, reading about it as we speak. Alex, settle this once and for all. Cthulhu Wars or Chaos in the Old World? There's nothing to settle. Oh, yeah, there's something to settle. Chaos in the Old World. But honestly, both have left my collection. Both of them are great games. I think Cthulhu Wars ultimately... I don't remember enough about it. It's been a long time, but I always enjoyed it, and it was never like top tier. Chaos in the Old World was top tier for a bit, but I think at the end of the day, I'd rather play Blood Rage every day of the week. And so both are great, but Chaos in the Old World is better. Drone Explorer, what are your top 3 house rules and for which games? I don't have a ton of house rules outside of not... Okay, so Terraforming Mars Prelude, draft the freaking Prelude cards. Draft the Prelude cards. Do not... Like, nobody... I don't think this is a rule anywhere, but draft the Prelude cards in Terraforming Mars. I have taught that so much to people that at this point when they play it by the real rules, some of the people who have only played it in my group are like, oh, that's not actually a rule? I'm like, sorry, I forgot to tell you that's not actually a rule. So Terraforming Mars, drafting Prelude cards is definitely one of them. Outside of that, I don't know if I have a ton. I really don't do a lot of house rules in my games, or if I do, I guess otherwise as Zombicide Black Plague, I definitely have house rules around how to spawn things, so without getting too much into it, I shuffle a bunch of extra zombies into the deck, and then I also have a side deck, and whenever a zombie or necromancer spawns, I roll a die. On a 1 to 3, it's a normal necromancer or zombie abomination, and on a 4 to 6, I draw one from the special deck. That's another rule. And then also you're limited to a number of abominations on the board equal to the highest level. So if you're at blue, you get 1. If you're at yellow or orange, you get 2. I think yellow is 2, orange is 3, red is 4. So limited number of abominations. That allows you to kind of shuffle a bunch of extra stuff into the deck while not being too penalized on bad luck of the draw. Do I have a third? Do I have a third game that I consistently house rule that isn't obscure? Besieged I used to house rule a lot, but I don't have that anymore. So, what do I house rule outside of those two? I don't know. I don't do a ton of house ruling. It's not, I usually can't be bothered to think through how to make someone else's game better. I'd rather just play the best of the best. Stacy, I table old games from time to time because I feel like I'm missing something. Then I'm disappointed. I think theme and art weigh heavy in my experience. Oh my gosh, Stacy, it is case by case. But try out these, okay? If you haven't tried these out, play El Grande, play Orleans. What's another? I want to give you one more. Play El Grande, Orleans, and Trois. Okay, those are the 3 older games that I think are definitely worth a look. Granted, I did just give you 3 Euro games, so if you don't like Euro games, it was just terrible advice. Terrible advice. I do wonder if Alex is going to play War of the Ring this year at Level Up with that patron that forgot the minis last year. I wonder that myself. Asaf, Brian T. Dracarion is my #1 game of all time. Stacy, I want minis for Dracarion just for the characters. Clash with Doom, what do you think on the games that need home rules to play? Otherwise, they are almost unplayable. I almost certainly don't play those games. If a game needs that much to make it playable, I'm probably not playing it. I'll do minor tweaks to make it better. Make it better for me. Not better for everyone, better for me. Might be better for everyone, different story. Asaf, where am I? Give you my word that Alex will play War of the Ring till the end of the year. Count on me. Asaf, you are so confident. For a man with so many board games and things that you want to do, you are very confident. Asaf, Minecraft is absolutely my top publisher. Dracarion, Anachrony, Voidfall are amazing, and also Serebia, which is very underrated. PressMed, Kingdom Legacy is a effing banger. I get one. Solo of Alex, 20 strong. Oh, yes, thank you. That is an excellent, yes, thank you. I don't have, because again, most of my solo plays are not true solo games, but I guess that definitely counts. That is definitely one of them. What's another one? There was another one. Oh, Kingdom Legacy. Oh, on the solo games. I just realized we caught up to that. That's why Meg was saying. Meg, I thought your answer was out of context. Yes, it's a great game. Bob, hey Alex, Unconscious Mind thoughts? Love it. I am currently going through the various modules. Once I've played all of them, I will have an updated review for you. But I still love it. Asaf, Meg, I hate you. Another game I need to look for a copy now. Kingdom Legacy. It may or may not be your type, Asaf. I can see you hating it, but I really enjoy it. And I've introduced it to a bunch of people, and they've all really enjoyed it. Don Rod, have you played War of the Ring, the card game? Yes, didn't land for me that much. I thought it was decent, and my biggest complaint was I feel you have to know the cards for you to be competent in the game, and I don't like games where you have to know, like, the amount of times you're referencing other stuff and pulling cards from other piles, you have to know the cards to be competent, and that just pulled the game back for me. Professor Mag, Asaf, Kingdom Legacy is super worth it and affordable. Possibly. JB, when does the company failure to deliver on promised delivery dates affect your overall love for their games? Ooh, great question. It's very rare, but it has happened. I'm usually pretty good at separating my feelings about a company for one reason or another, versus their games, which I enjoy. I'm usually pretty good at it. It takes a lot. It also helps that delays on their own don't do it for me. And that's a privileged position to be in. But for me, if a game is delayed, I'm like, I have so many unplayed games, what do I care? Even freaking Storm Thunder, which who knows what's going to happen with that. I'm like, whatever. A giant campaign game isn't here. Oh no, which campaign game will I play now? Too many. So that's a privileged position to be in, but it does mean that I'm not personally affected by a delay. But there are things that can affect my enjoyment of a game. It is very limited, but it has happened. One of them was definitely Chai Tifa 2. I have no interest in ever playing that game again. It wasn't even a bad game, but like that publisher so butchered the handling of it that I have no interest in ever caring about that game. I feel there was one other time that a publisher's actions made me, usually by the way, a company folding on its own, that's also not enough. I get that things are hard, I get that life is complicated, I get that publishers are trying to do their best, and I mean, what are the stats? 9 out of 10 businesses fail. And then we back these crowdfunded board games and we're shocked when 1 out of 100 fails? Like, we got pretty good stats in the board game space. But yes, sometimes startups fail, and that sucks, and I don't think that's anyone's fault. I think, not to be clear, it doesn't mean people didn't make mistakes, but I think that there's a weird line of someone making a mistake. Is it their fault? Like, we just invested in the journey, so it's very hard, but not all companies who don't deliver make me resent the game. That's what it comes down to. Like, that is case by case, and it comes down to a company's handling of a situation. There was one other time where I really lost interest in a game based on disinterest in the publisher. I'm trying to remember what it was. I don't remember right now, but there was definitely another time where I was like, I got turned off from the publisher, and that made me feel less invested in the game. I may have said it. I think I said it in a video. I don't remember offhand, but it's very limited. Soft Meg, I'm on it. Professor Meg, if I can clear the sick of got, yes, I will pack it. Oh, good to know. Okay. Brian, clear the sick. Sounds like you need to work out. Sweat the sick. Join Explorer, question, is it okay to reskin, combine different ideas of other games, and add them to your own to create another game, plagiarist-wise? So the short answer is yes, that's how new ideas are born. The complicated answer is it's kind of iffy, meaning it's iffy depending on what you do. The more recognizable your game is to another game, the more it's going to get into a conversation of people being like, is it innovation or is it copying? From a mechanical perspective, you can't copyright game mechanics to the best of my knowledge, or at least they very rarely are, and so you're pretty safe in the legal perspective. In the ethical perspective, I would say that the more your game almost exactly feels like another game, the more hot water you'll get in, but it's not the end of the world usually. Best Meg, Alex, do you have the other version of Kingdom Legacy, Distant Lands? There's another version of Kingdom Legacy? Oh, Ricky told me this. Ricky said something like that. Ricky said, because one of the expansion packs, I was showing Ricky the expansion packs, my daughter, and she said, oh, this one says just for Forbidden Kingdoms or whatever it is, that means there's others. And I was like, if there are, I have no idea. So no, I don't have another version, but I wasn't aware of another version. Stacy, I love Euros. Great, check out those 3. Kevin, what is a similar game to Jaws of the Lion that you don't have to play two-handed to play solo? Thanks for what you do. That you don't have to play two-handed to play solo. I usually like playing two-handed. Like, usually if I'm playing a character in a game, like if I'm playing a game like Jaws of the Lion, I would play two-handed, even if you don't have to. Primal, you have to play two-handed. What's a dungeon crawler that you don't have to play two-handed? I don't actually know offhand. I'm sure they exist, but I would almost always play them offhand. Like, there's ones where you can play companion characters. Tenaris Adventures, Oathsworn, you can play companion characters, so if that counts, then you're good. You can play a single true character in Tenaris and a single true character in Oathsworn, and then play a bunch of companion characters. But again, that might not fully answer you. Mr. Boom, what's an out-of-print game you wish would be reprinted? I don't know. I don't know offhand. I don't know. I don't have a good answer. I think I'm pretty content with the out-of-print games that are out there. Stacy, Alex, what about Hans Tonica? I've always enjoyed Hans Tonica, but I've never been pulled in by the theme or the art, and that means that it's always a game that when I'm done playing it, I'm like, this is pretty good. And before I play it, I'm like, I don't want to play it, let's play something else. That happens every time. So I've actually got rid of it, and then I got it back, and I was like, I'm so glad I got it back, and then I proceeded to never play it. So it just suffers from, it's a great game, but I have great games that look great too, and that means you want to see a game re-theme Hans Tonica, something that looks far more interesting, and I'll play that. Clan Chalon. Hey Alex, have you played Arcs and what do you think of it? Arcs is I should just play Arcs so I can stop answering the same way every time. I don't currently have an interest in Arcs. I'm not against playing it. It's nothing personal. Nothing about the game pulled me in. So if I happen to table it one day, I'm happy to do so. And I might love it, but right now I'm just not prioritizing it because I don't need to add things to my list I'm not excited about. Buddy, so you didn't like War of the Ring card game because you have to know the cards to be competent, but somehow Blood Rage, which exactly that, is great. So I love when people do this. I'm being sarcastic. I don't love when people do this. So, first of all, phrase it as a question. So, buddy, phrase it as a question as opposed to, you said X and you said Y, therefore you're wrong. So phrase it as, oh, I feel that way about Blood Rage, do you not see it that way? Because generally there is nuance to opinions, and also there's opinions to opinions. I played Blood Rage. The very first time I played Blood Rage, I had a blast with it. I not once did I feel you had to know something. I do feel, by the way, when I play Blood Rage, when I teach Blood Rage to new players, I always warn them about the card that steals Rage in the first round, because that's super important. And there's always like 2 or 3 cards. It's always like, I think it's like 1 card in the first round, like 2 cards in the second round, that I warn them about so that you know this thing can happen. And that's all. And I walked into Blood Rage the first time, and I never had that experience. I loved Blood Rage from the first time I played it, and not once did I feel you had to know something else. And for other players, I do warn them about 1 or 2 cards. For me, that's not the experience I had with War of the Ring. Now, you can have a different experience, that's fine. For me, when I played War of the Ring, I felt constantly I was being told to, like, oh, pull a card from this deck, that, like, I had no clue what these cards were. It was constant referencing, and I just don't feel that way about Blood Rage. So it is entirely your feelings and opinions around Blood Rage and how you feel in Blood Rage. You have to know everything to play it. That's a very valid feeling. But for me, it's not a feeling I have ever had about Blood Rage. So your question is valid, but my personal feelings in terms of not experiencing that same thing is the answer. I had this today. I talked about how in Finspan I said I don't care about the cards, and someone's like, does anyone else find it ironic that a guy who loves Terraforming Mars complains about not caring about the cards in Finspan? And I was like, that's exactly the point. I love Terraforming Mars, I love Everdell, I love Wayfarers. There's so many games that have cards that I love. And in those games, I do care about the cards. And in Finspan, I didn't. You're asking like if you caught me. No, that's the point. So, buddy, I'm sorry that you feel that way about Blood Rage. I don't, therefore I love Blood Rage, and I didn't love War of the Ring. Wheat Toast 25, do you pledge deceased? If so, all in. Yes and yes. Mr. Boom, any chance you convince Ivy Studios to sell that sick hoodie? Do they not sell the hoodie? Is it only at conventions? Like, what's the deal with, like, I mean, they make them. I assume they sold them. I think, or do they only sell them during the campaign and not after? I don't fully know the answer to that. Loser, not a fan. I hate saying your name. Not a fan of how the Cyclades Legend Edition Kickstarter is being handled. Retail versions are already floating around. Communication has been poor. It always sucks when that happens. It doesn't affect my personal enjoyment because I don't want the retail edition. I want the all-in. But I understand that people are not always going to have the same priorities as me, and that's okay. Aaron Taylor, have you talked about Simon doing another Rum and Bones yet? Without getting too much into it, because it's always a delicate balance, because if I say I don't know about X and you ask me about Y, then I say I can't answer, it means I know something. But I'll say this one for you. I don't know if Simon has any plans to do Rum and Bones again. I don't know. And I don't care if they do. If they do, I'll get more, but honestly, I have so much I don't need it. But I do not know if they have plans to do Rum and Bones. I will say something happened this year that made me think that they were about to tell me they're doing Rum and Bones, and I was very excited, and then they didn't, and it was something else, and I was less excited. So that did happen to me this year. That doesn't mean they're not doing Rum and Bones, it just means that I got my hopes up briefly, and that is what it is. Did you receive Chai Tea for 2? I thought that was gone forever. No idea. I stopped checking. Not no idea. I have not received Chai Tea for 2. I have no idea if it's gone forever. I don't care. I'm saying if it showed up, it would be going out the door instantly. I have no interest in that game anymore. Asaf, Stacey, if I may, I would like to recommend some Euro games. Okay, Tricarion, Andromeda's Edge, Unconscious Mind, Inferno, Brass Birmingham. All of those are great except Inferno. I didn't love Inferno. Well, it's not fair. I enjoyed Inferno. I didn't fall in love with Inferno. And the truth is that that's true about Andromeda's Edge as well, but I think I like Andromeda's Edge more. Stacey, I own Tricarion, played Brass, want to play Unconscious Mind. It's more the older games. Aaron, disinterested in publisher, sounds like Mythic Games. So honestly, I don't resent the Mythic Games situation. That's not true. That's not true. They mishandled the situation horribly. And I do think it has affected some of my enjoyment around their games, but not as much as Chai Tea for 2. Like, some of their games that I was on the fence about anyway, like, what's that big box, they have the giant monster fighting one that is only so-so anyway on. Like, I was like, I'm intrigued by it, but I'm not in love with it. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Monster Apocalypse, whatever. Versus something like Hell, I still want Hell. I still want, Anastyr. So some of their games I still want, and the ones that I was on the fence about, I'm like, fine, who cares anymore? Okay. Burke, can you give your current feelings regarding Wildstorm Miniatures taking over the Blacklist Games miniature lines? I don't have strong feelings about it either way. I'm happy someone's taking it over-ish. I haven't looked into enough details to know the details. I haven't looked into enough to know more than just it's happening. Like, I do know it's something that was happening, and that's all I know. Clash with Doom, which is the first campaign you backed? What do you think of that game now? I'd have to look. It was probably either Alien Frontiers or Flashpoint. I backed like extras for them. My first few campaigns were backing like extras for things. Oh, I also backed One Night Ultimate Werewolf at one point. I love that game. I still have it. Alien Frontiers and Flashpoint, I no longer have those games. Still have positive feelings about them, but I no longer have those iterations. Go West, what is your I wish I would have gotten funded game or a game that was supposed to be a thing but didn't happen? Ooh, that's a good question. I know the game, I don't know the name of it, which is I just been so long. There was a game. It was an area control game. Terrible art, terrible graphic design, amazing gameplay. You may have played it, I don't think you did, but you were building these little castles, and you have various components that went into the castle. So as you built a module to your castle, there were different modules that literally went into the castle. And it was a really solid area control game with some degree of area control, some degree of potions. I thought it was really well done, and it really just didn't present well. But the gameplay was amazing, and they tried funding twice and failed, and I'm still sad about it because I think it's a great game. I would love to see it picked up and tweaked and adjusted, but I did think it was a great game. I don't know the name of it, so I can't help you. I did coverage in it, but I'd have to like scroll through my videos and find it. Board Game Officer, Chronicles of Vinegar can be played true solo. Good catch, thank you. StarCraft, 100% StarCraft. Ooh, yeah, that would be an interesting one. I'd be interested in StarCraft. Actually, funny you say that. Literally yesterday, was it yesterday? I didn't remember to do this. I'm going to send myself an email. I believe it was yesterday. I was thinking to myself that I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and send myself a note. Send to, done. I was thinking to myself yesterday that, okay, StarCraft, that I wanted to download and play StarCraft again. Oh, I know why. I know I was thinking of it because I'm playing Hearthstone, and Hearthstone right now has a StarCraft challenge going on. And I was like, I haven't played StarCraft in so long. I should do that. So now I'm going to go download StarCraft. Thanks for the reminder. Stacy, software, all good. I've looked at the colonists. Again, theme, art barrier. Usually have to be talked into it. Mikhail, Distant Lands is a big expansion. There's plans for at least 2 other kingdoms coming out at some point, Northern and Desert. Yeah, I need to play. I need to play all of them. Loser, normally I wouldn't care if retail version came out first, but their FAQ specifically mentioned we'll focus on shipping every pledge to their backers before the game comes to retail. So to be very clear, my lack of caring doesn't mean that I'm saying that they're not wrong, to be very clear. Especially if they committed, then they are in the wrong. I still don't care on a personal level outside the you screwed up and you said you're going to do X and you did Y. So for me, this is like, they messed up. I have sympathy, by the way. I don't think any publisher walks into that situation intending to do it. I think life is complicated. People say things that they probably shouldn't, and they commit to things they probably shouldn't. How many times? Like last week I was here saying, next week we'll be doing the, last video in the Organizing the Games collection. How many times have I sat here and said, I hope to finish this game or play that game and then not done it? Life is hard, life is complicated, crowdfunding involves other people along for that journey, and I'm very sympathetic to the pressures that it introduces. It doesn't, that's not a free pass. When publisher says, I'll do X, and you are a paying participant in their commitments, I'm sympathetic to you too. It just means that I usually fall into this category of thinking, you were wrong, you shouldn't have committed that, sometimes I care, sometimes I don't, and that's kind of where that one's at. Board Game Buzz. Hey, Board Game Buzz, you're here. We'll catch him in a second. Betty, didn't mean as a caught you a blood rage. It was tongue in cheek and stating that I felt you needed to know the cards there to be competitive as well. So I apologize for my phrasing. Buddy, so 2 things. One, I recognize your name enough that I'm not. When someone says something snarky, when someone says something that can be taken offensively, and there's someone who I don't know, I might give less grace to it. I know you in general, so I may have been a little too aggressive in my response, but I know you, I know your name. I wasn't upset. I may have been aggressive in my response, and I apologize but I wasn't upset about it. But I think it was partially that I was also coming off the tails of that Finspan comment, where like sometimes it does feel that people are trying to like get you, and I'm like, okay, just ask the question sometimes. But I may have been a little bit reactive there. I had no hard feelings to you. You've been around forever. You're a prince, you're fine. But I'm sorry for the back and forth. Brian, Mythic Games literally put out a stain on all of crowdfunding, 100%. Other fails have been annoying, but much smaller impact. All that's true. All that's true. It just happens to not have necessarily affected how I feel about their games strongly. James, my gaming group enjoys having thematic music that matches the game. We table for the night. Do you know of any streaming sites that provide curated music for games? Yes, there's a site. There's a, oh my gosh, what is the site? Has no one answered the question yet? There's a, oh my gosh, site for music. Board game music site. That's a terrible thingy. Mellodice. Mellodice is a site where you punch the name of a game and other people have submitted their suggestions for a game. So check out Mellodice. Definitely recommend that. You have to connect your Bluetooth. It's not like a streaming service, but it's just like it just hosts the sites. Board Game Buzz live stream. I made it. Carly, we'll see you soon. Board Game Buzz, level up soon. James, Mellow Dice. Oh, Srebme, you're on top of it. I'm so behind. And this tabletop audio, what is this? I don't know anything about this. Now I have another site to go check out. I'm like, no one caught the answer, and Srebme got you. StarCraft the board game. Okay. Vandolis, how's it going? See you next week too. Baby Seal loves bagpipes. What is up with that name? Baby Seal loves bagpipes. What is your favorite and least favorite gear lock? I don't know the answer to that. I don't know the answer. I don't have a least favorite. They're all amazing. I do tend to default to what's the name? Is it Duster, I think? That's the wolf one. I do tend to default to her as one of my favorites. She is one of the first ones I've played, and one of the ones I've played the most, so it's not a fair answer. So excited for Level Up, Brian. Board Collect, any interest in SETI? I plan to do a teach at Level Up. SETI will be a Level Up in multiple capacities, I believe, and I plan on playing it. I actually kind of mostly learned it, but I know how to play mostly, and I plan on finishing that learning how to play I plan on playing it at Level Up. Asaf, I'll play StarCraft 2 any day, maybe one day the board game as well. You play StarCraft with other people? I guess so. I always play it solo. I don't even think of it as a multiplayer game. I just go through the solo campaign. But I'm open to the idea. Brian, I think the biggest games lost to time are StarCraft, Battlestar Galactica. So I did think about Battlestar Galactica, but I don't care enough about it. Forbidden Stars, huge amounts of people wanting these titles. They are stuck behind licenses. And Chaos in the Old World too. That's another one. Also stuck behind a license. Mikhail, if you get far enough to reach Ultra Red mode, add more spawns. I've never done that. To me, Ultra Red mode is screw you game. We've survived. Now it's time to kill you. I've never thought of that. Loser, Brian T. I miraculously managed to snag a copy of Forbidden Stars in pristine condition for $90. That sounds great. Board Collect, strong interest. Save 2 chairs for me and my friend. Board Collect, thread me. One Sharp Joe wants in. I don't know if you're trying to get Alex or not. Worst case, I'll play it twice. Shucks, it's a great game. So, first of all, I saw a video from Neon Gorilla that says, like, SETI fixes all the problems in Lost News of Arnak, and it shows a picture of him throwing Lost News of Arnak in the garbage, which immediately made me no longer like Neon Gorilla, regardless of what the video actually says. Haven't watched it, but he's done, like, you cannot put Lost News of Arnak in the garbage. I'm done with that guy. But past that, I do want to watch the video, and past that, I do want to play SETI. I believe I was trying to play SETI with Jeremy Howard. I don't know if I don't think I was in the One Sharp Joe game of it. Although I did tell Joe that I want to play something. I don't remember what I said. Tink is my favorite gear lock. My friend and I can also split up for one game. Buddy Berglund, speaking of Too Many Bones, a friend just got that, so I'm super interested in trying it for the first time and comparing to Elder Scrolls whenever that finally shows up. Brian T, Alex, I hope the Level Up library staff still has. I still hope the Level Up library still has Voidfall. I have made many promises to teach it. So this is a checkable thing. You can go to the site Level Up Library. Let me go find it here. Library. Okay, I'm just gonna check, but I'm pretty sure we still have it. Our library is not perfect right now, but yep, we have Voidfall. Our library is not perfect in the sense that what was I gonna say? Our library is not perfect in the sense that there are many games we have that are not listed, but there are many games that are listed. So we have like just shy of 1,000 games listed, and we probably have around 1,100 games, just not everything's fully cataloged yet. But I think Voidfall's there. One copy. I think we just have one copy. Brian T. It should. It was there last year. Were Mark Clarko. What do you think about coin games? I want to play a guest for Robin Hood, and I'm intrigued by others. I have not heavily prioritized them. Board Collect, Alex says you're playing Kingdom of Death Monster with him, I think. I'm playing KDM? With who? What? Who, what, when, where? Go West, if Alex says it isn't, I can bring mine. So it is, but feel free to bring yours too. Asaf, Brian T, basically almost every old school Fantasy Flight board game, Rune Wars, Battle for Rokugan included. Board Game Buzz, Brian, teach me Voidfall, please. West, awesome, that you'll be at Level Up. Jenna, wait, where, Jenna? Brian, Board Game Buzz, you, me, and Jenna, let's make it happen. What are you playing? Oh, Voidfall. You, me, and Jenna. Got it. Board Game Buzz, deal. Go West with Joe. I don't believe I'm playing Kingdom of Death Monster at all. I'm not even crazily averse to it, but I'm definitely a little averse to it. Clash with Doom. I'm curious, what do you exactly do on GameFound? What is your work? Okay, it's 2 o'clock, so I'll go ahead and answer this question. I did answer this last week, but I'll do it again. So, let's go ahead and pause. I'm not gonna tap. We're fine. We're good. Okay, so basically for GameFound, there's a variety of things I do, but the main goal that I have is, as my stated goal at GameFound, is to bring people to the platform, not the customer base, that too, but to bring users to the platform who run campaigns on the platform. So my job is effectively try to bring people on board. So what does my day-to-day look like? My day-to-day is a combination of any number of different things that all lend itself to that main goal. I run the GameFound feasts in general. I run the the podcast we do, although I'm actually behind on an episode, so I need to get on top of that. But more specifically, I manage the team of salespeople who also reach out to others, and then I reach out to a variety of people in the space. So I will have connections with a variety of publishers in the space, and I'll try to touch base with them, show them the stats, show them the successes, have those conversations with people to try to bring them on board, meet with them, go through their needs, what they want, don't want, all of that. But the main goal is to bring people on board, which is a combination of chasing people myself, and then ensuring that we have the processes, tools, and technologies that the rest of the team can do so as smoothly as possible. That is the shortest answer I can give. There's more to it, but that's the shortest answer that would enumerate what it is I do for GameFound. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. So, Remy, I'm glad you made it back for like whatever interactions you did after, and I'm going to go ahead and see all of you, not all of you, I'm going to see a bunch of you next week at Level Up, and we hope to do a live stream on Tuesday where we finalize the shelves and things, which honestly has gotten messy again since the last time, because as soon as I let this go for a second, it gets messy every single time. Anyways, until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from BoardGameCo. I hope you have an excellent week, and chair stream until I turn it off. Wait, no, chair stream needs a chair. Chair stream needs a chair.